wherever you are in the universe. This is Captain Swifty, the Ineffectual Gamer, and this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is Circumnavigation of the Globe, Day 6. Hello, how are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Move my chair across a little bit. Don't feel centered there. Sorry about the mess in the background, but couldn't be arsed with my shoes, and the kitty cat balls are out. Okay, so where are we today? I'm going to play around with my sound a little bit today because I am not happy with the overall sound recently. It doesn't have any bass in it. And I know my voice doesn't have a lot of bass in it to start with, but my voice doesn't have any bass in it. So I'm kind of wanting to check that and change it at some point. So let's have a look. Now, I'm not sure. I need to check if all this has gone live. I did set it up to go live, so it should have. But I do need to check that it is doing that. So let me just check on my. It's easy to check on my tablet. Not seeing a live notification, although I am there. So I'm guessing I'm live. Yep, I'm live on YouTube's. On the YouTube's. So the last one to check is Twitch. So I'll just check that. I know I've got Twitch installed. I want to see the page. Oh, you mother lover. It's going to switch to Twitch in my app, as you can see by the purple on my face there for a second. Okay, so now it's asking me to sign in. This is why I love it. Go over. You know why? I don't think apps often work quite well with the web browsers. Okay, and that says I'm live, so I'm guessing I'm live on that platform as well, which is good. Chat's all set up. Chat should be okay to go. Let me just get my chat up. I think I might have gone live in the right way today. Let's see if I count our chickens here. It's okay. Right, yo. Live 9/7. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's close that off. Close that off. Let's get Google Maps up for me on my tablet in front of me, because I can have. I actually don't know whether to have my tablet as the chat or whether to keep the chat on my phone. I'm in two minds. Different games, it's better to have the tablet set up for the game itself. But sometimes it's better to have it set up for chat. So it all depends. At the moment, I'm really not sure with this. So Google Maps, there we go. And I think I know where we finished the last stream. I'm hoping. I'll have a good look. I'm just going to turn off my actual preview on my OBS so I can just get a little bit extra out of the machine. Okay, so we were in Africa and we were somewhere around here. There we go. No, not that one. See, I spotted it straight away. It wasn't that one, it was that one. So Felix Hohod. This was the airport we landed in, so this is where we're going to be taking off from. So we'll have that as our departure, and as you can see, departure is runway 21. So luckily, I actually have it still on my Google Maps. As soon as I went into Google Maps, it showed me the airport, and it's funny that the terrain is slightly different from reality, and I don't know if it's just this map simplified or what, but the terrain is slightly different from reality. Now our intention today is actually to get all the way over here to Matala Mohammed, and I think we will, no problem. Oh, look at that. I don't know whether that's the terrain or the clouds, but whatever that is that's causing that, it's great. Okay. So, and you can see we have a little bit of weather, but I don't quite know what the live weather is yet. I'm going to have a look at flight conditions. So it's cloudy. It's cloudy. It said it was clear skies earlier. Whoops. It said it was clear skies earlier. That's this game all over. So, but we're going to plot our route now. So we're going to set Matala Mohammed as our arrival. Now that doesn't mean that'll be it for tonight. We might be able to go on to somewhere else if we're lucky enough. We're going to be travelling across land, mainly, past a couple of cities. So we'll keep an eye out for them as we pass over. We are going to be flying high altitude, because for this, for the most part of this series, it is just about flying somewhere and getting somewhere. So flying high altitude will be kind of something we do a lot of. So that departure is no good. Don't know if we can do it as a direct. There must be more options for the departure. Maybe I should set this up in a different thing. Let's see. Let's have a look at our approach. Our approach is quite nice, actually. Alright, what I'll do then is I'll do this departure, but we're going to fly runway heading straight out over the sea, and then once we get to a few thousand feet, we'll make the turn and go towards these nav marks. So I won't complain about it too much now. So as I said, flight conditions are gloomy, but it's good. I'm sick of clear skies all the time, so let's get this loaded in. Get everything set up there. Just make sure IFR. We will do a little bit of night flying, I think, for this one, Alisgar. Last one wasn't night flying at the end of it, because it was raining, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of night flying for now. Yeah, I think yeah, we'll do a bit of night flying, I think. Okay, and there's going to be some clouds and crap. I'm sure it set it to 31,000 automatically anyway, so we should get that. So if you're dropping in, you're enjoying the stream, please click that like button today. It's my first swig of beer of the night, and just a little extra. Lovely. Ooh. Oh, I haven't had that one in a while. Nice. Right, so let's see where we're gonna fly over. So we're gonna fly from, currently in the Ivory Coast, so we're actually gonna fly over Ghana. I was considering landing in Kotoka International Airport, but I think we're actually just gonna pass over Ghana, Togo and Benin, and then we'll make our way, and we're going to land at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, which is one of the big airports there. And then, if the stream's not, coming to its end at that point, we'll fly over into Cameroon, I think. I don't think we'll make it to the next big stop, which would have been in Gabon, but I think that I'll be asking too much of myself, and I asked too much of myself in the last one, so we never arrived where I thought I would in the next one. So we'll try and keep it there. Okay, so I'll be as cheerful as I can tonight, but unfortunately lost a friend today. Just found out after I got home from work. Very, very nice guy. I haven't really been in touch with him for a long time, but when I was a child, he was a friend of my parents. But he was a little, how can you say it? He was a little bit of kind of like a drifter, but in a good person. And so sometimes he used to stay on our couch and things. Oh, I didn't set it to do the setup correctly. I knew I'd missed something. People don't remind me. I wasn't at the gate. So now everything's set, ready to go, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll do some double check. Oh, I like these clouds. I'll do some double checks in a second. Whoa! Oh, no, 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 no! No, no, no! No! Crapola! Crap! Right, I'm angry now. I'm really angry with myself. I had this set up from when I was doing an A330 flight earlier, and I wanted to see what the angle was that the AI came in on, and now it's messed up the beginning of my flight. Alright, try not to get too upset about it. So let's put these on. There are no lights on for some reason. I have no idea why. They should be on. All of that should be up. Right, okay, let's set our stuff properly. I'm sure I just saw a flash of lightning there. Let's set our stuff up properly. So so yeah, so I was really unhappy to hear about the... Oh, yep, just heard lightning, so we've got a little bit of lightning. Yeah, so I was a bit unhappy to hear about the passing of this guy. He was lovely, and it's just such a shame, but life does this. So I thought I'd try and stay a little bit happy. Right, so we've got altitude. Let's turn the autopilot off for a start. Oh no, that's engaged. Let's turn the yaw damper on. Autopilot. Altitude on. Nav on. And I think we're going to go for... Oh, why has it changed everything? Right, just give us a second. I need to take a bit of a chill pill here. I hate it when I mess up the beginning, and I always do it, everything, when I'm streaming. The reason was I was getting all ready to stream, and my computer, as it does, decided to take a crap. And so I had to go back and reset everything with about 10 minutes to go. Even now, I'm supposed to decrease in the altitude. Can you see that? Decrease altitude. Oh no, it's minus 12,000 feet. Oh my god. Right, let's just let the weather move in, you know. I'll just try and do it again. So, let's do this with the mouse wheel, make it a bit faster. So we're going to set this for 11,000 feet. That was our first marker by ATC, by the sound of it. So we'll go 11,000, and then we'll probably get clearance higher. We're going to go for a FLC mode. No. Virtual speed. Okay, there we go. And we're going to go for virtual speed of 2,800. Yeah, that seems alright for me. 2,800 to 11,000. Okay, just make one slight change in here that I like to have. Wind, option 3, okay. Went back and looked at my landing from the last stream. It was outstanding. Not just the landing itself, not just the landing itself, the actual feet per minute I landed at and everything was one of the best I've ever had. So, yeah. Really cool. I was descending at about 1.5 feet per second, which is not a bad landing at all. Okay, so flaps set. Okay, everything's set, so we can get going now without the hope of Knobhead taking over. I'll let him manage the radio comms, and we'll get ourselves underway. So, but yeah, I've been trying with the A320 for it. Oh, I like that flash of light. For a different stream, for a secondary stream that I want to have running alongside this one. But I'm having real problems getting the A320 down, and I don't know what it is. I get the back wheels down fine, but then it seems to have a paddy fit, and the front one starts. The nose starts flying up and down like crazy. So we got okay, we've got a good rate of climb. Bit of wind hit me there on takeoff. So we've got positive rate. Speed's positive, so I'll bring up the flaps. So now the autopilot's trying to take me into the ground, so I'm gonna keep that off for the time being. So have I set the because I know why, because I set the altitude change in the wrong direction. Why is it doing this?
129.1 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
That's me.
Dakar Center Ineffectual Gamer 907 is at 1,000 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Okay, so we're only at 1,000 feet, so we need to make sure that's okay.
Continue to Alpha Delta 71 as planned.
So yeah, I'm gonna set the autopilot now. So what the autopilot's gonna do is it'll make the turn now.
7 climb and maintain flight level 230.
And it's 230 now. We've got clearance
Climb
for.
and
So
maintain flight level 230 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
I'll check what that message is.
7 climb and maintain flight level 250.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those, is it? So she's gonna get me up to.
Climb and maintain flight level 250 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
250, didn't he say? Okay, we're up. Okay, so we're coming around now. We're leaving the airport behind us. I like to actually normally have a look when we're leaving the airport behind us. No rain, but we have. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing with some of these buttons. So you can see we're leaving the airport behind us there. A lot of lightning but no rain. So I don't know if we're going to get the rain when we pass through the clouds. I'm going to put my icing light on just so I can keep an eye on the icing, if there is any icing. Because we are going through storm clouds, so I'm guessing there might be a little bit of icing. But these clouds look really low, and it doesn't look like there's a second level after them, so it's probably going to be a short pass through them. So I don't know if I should put this here and that there. So, yeah, Japan update has dropped for Flight Simulator, which is fantastic. So if you've got the game, feel free to go. I don't like the lighting effects inside the aircraft. I think there's been a slight degrade on the graphics. I noticed this yesterday. I just feel like the graphics have gone down a little bit. I'm going to check my settings to make sure it's not something where the upgrade has actually changed my settings. But if I just quickly go to the outside here, these fields look slightly lower resolution. Everything looks, especially there with the city, it looks slightly lower resolution and a little bit out of focus. So they didn't say anything about a graphical downgrade. They said graphical, I think graphical improvements. Alright, what's this problem here? The ITT. Okay. I do know that... No, what are you on about stall? The hell? Hang on. I've got my flaps up, haven't I? Right, okay. This flight's doomed, isn't it? This is doomed. I've never had a stall. Okay, but the ITC, this could be weather conditions affecting this, but it's pretty hot, so I just need to be careful about that. We certainly shouldn't be stalling. What I will do actually is, I know why it might be stalling, is because I might have a ridiculously high climb rate. It's only 2,500 at the 2,200 at the moment. I'll put it to 2,500, see if that'll be okay. I'll just make sure that ATC didn't give us a clearance ahead of that. No, she didn't. So yeah, so I just feel like that ground there, it just doesn't look quite right. Some people have said reflections. I think the clouds look a little bit stranger. Yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see if there actually has been any, or whether it's just my eyes aren't as good as they were, which is a hard possibility. Might be, or should I say a harsh reality, not a hard possibility. Okay, so everything kind of looks alright at the moment. Just need to keep an eye on that heat. That could be because I might have done the update on the plane. You can do an update which makes the engines and everything react in a more realistic way. So I think I might have installed that the other day, which could be why it was acting a bit funny on the climb there. But I did have it at a bit of a ridiculous climb rate. I don't know if the best pitch for this particular model is 15 degrees. I was actually watching a great video, real video of a guy taking this aircraft up to 31,000 feet the other day. It's him and his teacher going through it, and I don't think he'd ever been to 31,000 feet in it. That was pretty cool watching that, because he was really happy about it, and his teacher seemed even like they were pretty chilled about it. I don't know, with it being kind of a small private plane, I don't know how often you'd get clearance to 31,000 feet. I'd have thought it might not be easy, because it's high altitude airways and there's a lot more big planes up there. But okay, so past 12,000 feet, should have brought the landing lights off. Everything else is on. Let's check those things again. Okay, so the engines are a little bit cold now, and I can actually see they're down to 781. So I think I can just afford a little bit more torque, just to maybe get us climbing a little bit. A little bit faster. Nice to get a little. It's always nice to kind of get that little bit faster. Oh, has the stream gone down? Oh, Flight Simulator has stopped working. Fantastic. It's not my day, is it? I'm telling you, I have a feeling that today's not going to be my day. I've never had it do this, Flight Simulator. I know it happens for other people. It's never happened for me. And we were well on our way there. So we definitely won't be going further in tonight's flight, because I'm going to have to load Flight Simulator back in, and I'm going to do the taxi and everything now, because I can fix what was broken. Aye. I needed this stream today. I really needed just the time to chill out and enjoy myself, and I think that reality doesn't want that. I think reality really doesn't want that. But we'll see. Jeffrey Dahmer trying to get me back for the other night's stream, is it? Hey. We'll knock the preview off. Well, I'll have to sit here and entertain you for 5 minutes, because it takes about 5 minutes for Microsoft Flight Simulator to load up. So, good luck with that, and we'll see. Well, I don't know what to say. Let's reset everything so we know everything's in its default position for this. If it crashes again, I don't know. I don't think I can take it 2 times in one night. I'm not one of these streamers who's going to sit here and watch it reload and reload. But we'll see. Really don't know why it crashed there. That's one of the things that's bothering me in my head, because I can't think of why it might have crashed. You know what? While it's loading though, I could use... Oh, you need all the ICO codes. I don't know all the ICO codes. So I could find them. I could find them, you lazy bastard. Don't want to find them. Right, let's get. They're getting rid of this screen, aren't they? Thank God. Nobody asked for it, did they? I can't find it. This is somehow switched to something I didn't ask it to now. Right, now it's back to normal. Right, let's have a look. No. No, I can't find it. Can't find the ICO codes for it. Oh well. Well, let's see how we go. So yeah, so what was I saying? Japan's had an upgrade. You can kind of see from this picture. I don't know how well the texture's been done, but these look like some pretty standard houses. But then again, in Japan, some places do. I'd love to fly around Mount Fuji when we get there, though. That'll be an interesting one. America is next on the list. The USA is next on the list. Now, I'm wondering if that's going to be 1 update, 2 updates, because it's a lot to update. I think the US should be counted as a continent, really. Yeah. Do you know what I noticed the other day? It's funny you should say that, Alaska. I did notice the other day that I seem to have some oral fixation, and my mouth's always doing something, and I kind of wasn't aware of that. I knew before that I sometimes chew. I chew my tongue. Not hard, it's just something I do. But I noticed the other night that I pull some very strange faces. And the only thing I can do is apologise. There's nothing I can do for that. Right, let's have a look. So, Mohammed. Arrival. Okay, so let's go. High altitude airways. We're going to go high altitude. We are going to go from runway 21, but we are going to do... because we can't do that silly turn there. But I'll take departures all. I think the approach that it set for me last time was a good approach. Probably won't select that one this time. It'll probably select something different. Oh, I love this game. It did as well. So why it chose a different one, I don't know. 36 left. 36 left. There is no arrival of 36 left, so let's do an approach of 36 left. There is none. We can do 18 right, but it shouldn't be 18 right because unless that is actually the active runway, so we might do an RNAV 18 right. Okay, so yeah, I think that was bringing us in roughly where we were, where we'd fixed before. So let's have a look. So yeah, we're going to do a departure similar to last time. We'll fly out over the sea a little bit and then we'll bring her back in. I'm going to keep these flight conditions for the time being. I'm just going to check my ATC call sign because it forgets all of this because it doesn't want to know any of this, but it'll probably remember that I started the last one with my co-pilot controlling everything, so he's probably going to start everything up without my permission. What have I forgotten? Watches. I've forgotten to put it at the gate, so we'll do that. Okay, so we're going runway 21, but we're going to have parking ramp 6, general aviation, I suppose. Okay, still the same departure. Is vacancy right? Okay, good. Okay, let's fly. Let's do this. So let's see. A sip of that. Fucking hell, good beer sometimes. Good beer. Right. I'm going to turn actually the brightness down on that. I really should just put my chat on here. It's probably better. I know where I'm bloody flying to, don't I? Now the freaking tablet's acting up. Restream. Okay, restream. Chat, there we go. Alright, then I'll take this off. Yeah. Okay. Oh, don't know what that means. Does that mean really low visibility? Nice one. Oh, look at this. Love this. So yeah, he's starting everything up without my permission. Get it up.
Ready to copy.
I didn't mean to shout get it up in that way. Oh, he started everything up.
Runway 201 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Oh, I'm sorry. The day just doesn't want to give me anything. It's going to crash again, by the way. I can tell you now. Life just doesn't want to give me anything today, so... I sound so fucking silly, don't I? But I just mean that sometimes you really smell... What was it somebody once said to me? Somebody said, oh, that's all positive, negative reinforcement. I was like, oh, I could do one. You didn't hear that coming, did you? No, but in all seriousness, you just some days you smell that the day is not wanting to be nice to you, and yeah, this is just one of those days. It just felt coming home. I was like, I want to stream, and streaming's gonna back up. Right, virtual speed. Right, we'll go 2008. Open in browser. Just check something. Come on. Open in browser for frick's sake.
Ineffectual number 907, did you copy?
Did you hear my copy? Yes, I did. But you were talking to the other bloke who I hadn't given permission to do anything.
Cleared to Lagos Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 21 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 129.
Right. Okay. So let's have a look. We need some stuff setting up. So I don't know if it's set everything up correctly. So we need our pitots on. It's still saying low voltage when it probably shouldn't be. I don't know why. Probably because of that. The starter doesn't need to be on. The auxiliary BP boost needs to be on, I think, for the moment. That needs to be set to up. Okay, so it turns out that he hadn't started. He starts up the engine without doing anything else. So we've got bleeds off. Yeah, bleeds off. So we need that. Bleed auto. Okay, let's get that set. Inert sept is on. That's fine. We can turn that off now. Okay, we'll take the auxiliary boost to off, or is it to auto? I think it's to auto actually. Auto select. What the hell is auto select? Let's have a look. Don't know which one I've accidentally set to auto select. That's up. Got the auxiliary boost, but it shouldn't be. No, because that's still saying it's on. The hell is auto select? Is it the main generator? No. Don't know what the auto select is because he started it up and I don't know where. Ah, okay, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's here. I forgot about that button. Come on. There we go. So that should clear the cast apart from auto brake. Okay. Hey Brian, how's it going? Hello. Hopefully we can stay up in the air today. Don't forget to drop me a like, please. Okay, just give us a second. Okay. Right, so I hope you're alright, Brian. What have I done? Our host says it's a weird oral fixation. Yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah, every time. Yeah. Do you know what? We shouldn't play that game, Ellis Car. That's a really bad idea. That's a really bad idea. It's a good idea, but it's a fool's idea. Okay, we'll have a straight pushback here. Okay, so everything's up and running. We're doing fine in that sense. So we are going to request a taxi to the IFR.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 ready to taxi IFR.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, taxi to and hold short of runway 21 via taxiway.
I think that was
Contact tower on 118.11 ready.
He's going to start shouting at me. He did give me clearance.
Taxiing hold short runway 21 via taxiway Ineffectual Gamer 907.
So it's saying to go forward straight down this, but that is not. That cannot be our taxiway. I'm telling you now. yeah, I'm going to make a turn and I'm going to go around the front. There's no way you would taxi behind everything like this with these things in the way. So I am going to... No, I'm not even going to request a push... Yes, I am going to request a pushback. I am going to request a pushback. Because we need to go back a little bit. Ground services, and we'll just request a pushback straight
I'll
back.
be on ground. Ineffectual Gamer 907 requesting pushback.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 pushback request accepted.
So he's going to move into his position. We're going to watch him do his little pushback. We're going to take the taxi along here, and we're going to go through there instead, because that is a ridiculous taxi thing. I've noticed my map hasn't loaded up, has it, today? Streaming. Yeah, I didn't realise the map hasn't showed up. It's so other. I'm guessing it's so other planes can see me would be my expectation. Okay, so we can request to stop there. Okay, so
Requesting the end of pushback.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 request to end pushback received.
okay, so we'll let him pull away. I'm honestly concerned that it's not showing my my map. So I'm just going to change it around, see if I can get it. It looks like it might actually be broken today. Does that show up in my stream? Because what I'm looking at is a blue screen too. Blue screen with the airplane on it. So I'm just trying to control and see. It's doing it exactly the same on mine, but we had a satellite one before, so let me just find which one that is. It's map, isn't it? I've got it marked as map. So 51011, it's the same thing. And my altitude and everything isn't working. Hang on a second. I know what this is. Give us a second to just set this up, people. It's because the game shut down. It can't handle it. It doesn't know what it's doing when the game shuts down. So let me just make sure it clears my system tray, and then I'll start it back up, and it should load everything eventually back into position. So we're a little late getting off today. Yes, it was. So yeah, I think I've seen that problem before when it crashes. That I noticed because all your markers were saying NKP or something. It says when it can't pick it up. So now they should come back up in a few minutes, just as it gets. It does sometimes take a moment to get settled, but once it does, they'll all come back up. Let's look at our overlay map. Okay, so yeah, our overlay map, I can see it. So yeah, we've got everything now. Okay, yeah, everything's back up and running. But you'll notice the rain stopped completely. So we're not dealing with rain now. So let me just see. We've got 11,000 feet set. We've got 2,800 feet per minute. Nav's on, and that's it. We are ready to go. Are we ready to go? We should turn flight director on, actually. Don't know where it is. There we go. Okay. Right, okay, let's do this. Leroy! Right. So the other thing is, on the A320 I was practicing with that earlier. It has a bug where it turns the screens off just as you're coming into land. So I'm doing this visually, so just give us a second. You see this yellow line here that we're seeing kind of flashed up? I need to follow this yellow line. This is going to be our taxi line. Ah, the blue arrows have popped up now. They're loosely related to the red arrows. Wah, wah. Okay, off we go. So hopefully we'll get there this time without the game crashing. Like I said before, that is the first crash to desktop I've had and it was a crash to desktop. I had a blue screen of death when we tried to load in Burbank the other week, but I think that was just because we'd used too much memory. And this game's definitely got a memory leak. If you load in too many places, it always crashes to blue screen. So that's just the way it is. But I think they knew about that in the. I think they knew about that in the beta version. I've always noticed that when games have memory leaks, if they have memory leaks, I'm not saying it necessarily does because I'm not amazingly technical, but I do know that normally it causes the RAM to just fill up and then you get a crash. But normally when that happens, companies never tell you that they have it. The Division 2 was the worst for it when it first came out. They were just completely denying that it was happening until they miraculously it started working for everybody. And that's one of the reasons why I will never pre-order an Ubisoft product again, regardless of what it is. I'll watch the forums for the first 30 minutes and make my decisions based on that in the future, I think. Okay, so we are taxiing. And let's see if we can. I'll let him manage comms now, because it's much easier for him to manage the comms without me having to flick through everything. If there is ever a voice to ATC, I would love to have that happen. It's quite difficult reading back everything, but I don't know. Sometimes you have to learn to put your big boy pants on and join the real world, so I wouldn't mind necessarily learning how to do that. I think, as with Flight Simulator, with everything, it all comes with repetition. There's nothing that can fix repetition, so repetition, line on the left, one cross each. So I don't know where the hell this taxi's taking me, by the way. It seemed to not know itself for a few seconds. So, oh, it's taking me onto the runway. Okay, maybe I should not be accelerating onto the runway then. So, we need to, he should have asked. Go back to clearance.
Lobby John Tower, Ineffectual Gamer 907, ready for IFR departure runway 21.
Ineffectual Alchemist 907 cleared for takeoff runway 201E.
Cool. We are going to do a straight out today.
Runway 21, Ineffectual Gamer 907.
So straight out is just when you come off your taxi, you line it up, and then you hammer it. And it's not. I've said it before. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. It's not common practice, but I've experienced it numerous times, where they make the turn and then literally the engines go up and they're off out. Now I'm not sure if some people do it as a matter of getting off the ground faster, you know, so that they can sorry about that, so that they can complete the route faster. So people like Ryanair, EasyJet, maybe they do it like that. Whereas with KLM and stuff, I've always noticed that you hover, that you kind of wait a lot longer. Crosswind there. That's cool. I actually like that. Must be a crosswindy. Okay, we can bring the positive climb rate. A bit too positive if you ask me. Positive speed, so we'll bring the flaps up.
Ineffectual Alchemist 907, contact Dakar Center on
And we can set the autopilot to go, and the autopilot's going to do its job. So we should start making a turn.
Dakar Center, Ineffectual Gamer 907 is at 1,100 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
And I don't know why. Oh, please don't tell me it's another crash. I've had another crash. Right, well, unfortunately that's going to mean the end of Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're not going to sit here all night and do Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm sorry, but I haven't got time for it. Oh god, you know, this is going to be because of the update. I can't understand why it would crash like this numerous times. System tray is clear of everything. It wasn't doing this before the update. Oh god. I'm saying oh god like this because I worry, because now I think I've got a product which just doesn't work. It's not going to work for me going forward until they get it fixed. But I haven't heard about a huge crashing problem, but I haven't been on the forums that much. But you notice both times it's kind of after takeoff we were doing all that stuff and nothing, and then after takeoff it seems like it doesn't like something. And the worst thing about that is you don't know what you've bloody installed and stuff the last few days. I'm trying to think what I might have installed over the last few days that have bothered it. Let's have a look. Should be able to see by my downloads. I never get rid of my downloads, so I should be able to see if there's anything. That was 28th, but I don't think I've installed that. That was the 27th, but that was a flight plan booklet. I haven't installed anything. I haven't installed anything since the last stream. That's not good. Should we try it one more time? I'll try it one more time. Let's see if we can just get it, stop it from crashing. Mafia did it. No, well, I haven't streamed since the Japan update, have I, Alazgar? I don't think I have. Have I? No, but I did a flight the other day with I did a flight the other day with the A320, no problem. A test flight. That wasn't on stream, and that was fine. I don't think there's been an update since then. What's this one? No. Oh, for God's sake. I hate when this happens because you don't know what you can do. It could be something to do... It wasn't flying the route. Could be something to do with the departure setup. Could be. You never know. I've seen other streamers having it crash, so I know it's not. I know I've actually been quite lucky at times, but I'm going to set up one more flight and we'll do a straight out departure and then we'll see what it does. If it crashes again, I'm going to go to Mafia because I'm sorry, but it's Friday night. Not drivers. There's been no changes that should cause it to crash through the drivers. I was thinking at first, I thought, well, I haven't flown the Japan update, but I have flown the Japan update. I did it with an A320 the other day, an A320 and a Citation. I flew both of them the other day in the test flight. Drivers might be slightly out of date. They might not be up to date, but there's no reason for it to be crashing if I've actually already flown. I was wondering if I'd put I might have changed the TBM and put the realistic version in, but then other people would have said it was crashing theirs. I have a new Area 51, but I haven't installed it, and that shouldn't affect where I'm flying because it wouldn't even be loading it in. So, I don't know. So think about it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but should a bandwidth thing crash the game? I could turn off live AI flights, Maybe it's that. But to just crash the game, like crash the desktop, is normally... I honestly, I never really get crash to desktops with games. Very, 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 very rarely. As I've said, I've had blue screen the deaths. I get them quite a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've had them quite a lot in the past. But my graphics card works in a way that... Sorry, I'm dry-throated here. Now, one of the things is with something like this is... Another thing is, when you do have a crash, some stuff stays in your memory. That's not great, because when... oh, really? See, Elite's another game I've never really had a lot of crashes in. Touch wood. But in all seriousness, I really haven't had a lot of crashes in Elite. So we're going to set this departure. We'll do, and this one as arrival. Okay. We'll do high altitude, but I'm going to go in my navlog. It is 31,000 feet. That's fine. Go back to the world map. We want a runway arrival 18 right. So we want 18 right. RNAV 18 right. Okay, so that should give us a good arrival. Okay. Right, let's go flight conditions live. We can turn off live traffic because I really don't need it. And then we'll give it one more go. I hope it's not. It could be a problem with it. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, it could be a problem with the airport. Could be a problem with something around here that crashes it. I think if you fly over Antarctica, it crashes it. It's gonna have my AI fly in again, isn't it? He's gonna try and take off as soon as we load in. Maybe I should let him. Maybe I should let him do the first part and see how he gets on with it. He might do a better job than me. Might not crash. Oh, pardon me. But on a brighter note in my life, I have a little bit more female interest these days. 2 people. And then I've got this other one, but I shouldn't really say all this on stream. I just don't know where it's going with the one I've been seeing for the longer period. I really just don't feel like it's going anywhere. And then there's 2 other people who started talking to me recently where I'm like, I don't know. It's not normal for me. It's not normal for me to have more than one person interested. Okay, he's going. We're gonna let him go. Let him go. Swifty deserves a rest. Let's see if this takeoff with the AI pans out. See if he does a good job actually. Oh no. Oh, look, I love how he flies the runway. You don't fly it nose down like that. They go into an immediate climb. Come on, son. Is his landing gear up? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I've cut the tanks. Fuck. Is he going to set it right? Oh, crap. How did I do that? Oh, he might die. We might have to restart it. No, he's got it going again. Thank God. Oh, I feel bad for the guy. What am I doing? I've got no lights. I'm looking for the. I'm doing this by memory, almost. But there we go. We've got cabin lights now. That's the minimum we could have.
Golf Sierra Alpha
Okay,
contact,
he's off and rocking.
129.1.
He's up to 700 feet. He's making the turn.
129.1.
So let's hope that's...
Dakar Center Dair Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is at 900
let's
feet,
hope he does
climbing
alright for
5,000
now.
feet.
Golf Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Dakar Center. Continue to Alpha Delta as planned.
I was just testing him. I was seeing if he had the cojones to save my life. So the live weather is a bit strange. It's kind of lightning with... you can sometimes get lightning without rain. We get it in Spain in midsummer when it's really hot. We do get it, so I'm not saying it's impossible. So it's quite a nice shot there with all the lights in the city and everything. It's pretty cool. Oh, what are we doing? You're over speeding, son. You're cooking your engines. Don't make me take over. I might have to take over if he cannot fly this route. I'll wait till he gets to cruise speed and then I'll take over, because I'm not sitting here with this bloody alarm. I can actually turn it off. But he's cooking the engines to hell here. So he really shouldn't be doing that. And I can't sit here and watch him fly it with that flashing. I'm not even... I have to look in this direction all the time. I'm not somebody who kind of... Oh, why are we flying back over the airport? Alright, to join up. Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't have been my... way I was going to fly it. Now, the autopilot does actually fly pretty well. It's just things like cooking the engines, he doesn't care. He's just in it for himself, so he wants to get there fast. He also doesn't seem to understand when to take, like, to do his lights or anything. You have to kind of keep an eye on all that. Oh, he's flying the wrong way! What's he doing?
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Right, he's way off course here. He has no idea what he's doing. We are about 5 miles off course so far, so I'm taking over. So I'll keep the engines going. We'll set the nav. Okay. We shall... actually, even my nav isn't working properly. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to... we'll give it a 10,000 feet. Right. Vertical speed, we'll give it 10,000 feet. And X amount. Why isn't he flying? Ah, because I'm looking at it. There we go. See, I got it under control faster than he had it under control. So we need to bring that down, otherwise we're going to go into a stall. So we'll bring that down a little bit. Let's see, 3-4. No, 3-4 is still not good enough. So we turn the yaw damper on. He still hasn't got his fuel select on, so we'll get that selected on. Okay, that should be automatic. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to make it. And except it'll go off. Right, so we are flying the route now. Fingers crossed, people. What did I turn off? AI traffic. So that's a start. Okay, we are passing 4, and I hate that we're on a 25 degree and pushing it. Yeah, you want to get that nose down. You really want to get that nose down. And 2,900 feet a minute isn't actually that bad, but I can turn it down slightly, so we'll go 2.8, 2.6. We'll go 2.6, but that shouldn't go any more than 15 degrees. But there's a problem with this game that I've noticed, and I think it's something to do with the auto trim. So what I mean is, I think once he's set the trim, or you set the trim, and then you use the co-pilot, but flying up. Well, let me just, I just need to double check everything because I know how much of an idiot I am sometimes. Okay, so we're heading to 10,900, which I'm not sure if that was the intended. No, the intended is 11,000, so we'll set that for 11,000.
Circle, Sierra Alpha climb, and maintain flight level 250.
I didn't put my thing back in, did I?
Climb and maintain flight level 250 Dare Golf, Sierra Alpha.
Could have been my tail number. You don't think it would have been my tail number though, would it? Okay, 25,000 feet, and we want to go vertical speed. It's forgot my vertical speed already, so we'll tell it again. I'm going to go 2.5. I feel that's a better amount. But we're above the clouds now, we're in a nicer place, so, well, let's go. Leave him alone. I'll do what I want. I pay his wages. I'll call him what I want. I love how you're all weirding on me at times, but you're prepared to stick up for my non-existent co-pilot, who is actually Ellard's car, to be honest with you. Which explains why we took a nosedive at the end of the runway, to be honest. If you've ever seen Ellard's car doing laps of Gibraltar, well, it's kind of like that old PlayStation game, Destruction Derby. So, passing 13,000 feet, yeah, climbing, and I'm really hoping that we've put the crash behind us. Sorry. That was... The crash behind us. Right, okay, we need to just make sure our altimeter's fine. We're flying at 2980. Okay. Another thing in the A320 is you actually have to set your transponder. It's not too difficult because normally in the A320 your transponder's roughly here and it's just a 4-digit code and you set it. But I didn't know that, and so I took off a few times and it was telling me I had the wrong transponder code. And it's a shame that it doesn't scramble a couple of F-16s to watch you closely, but it doesn't, unfortunately. But I did like that. I thought it was quite cool because to know that you should set your transponder. You know it by this code here, Squawk 0052. That's your transponder code. And so in the day it automatically sets it, but in the A320 it doesn't. And I don't know why, but it doesn't. So let's look at PFD settings. Wind option 3. Okay. We've got a wind. Yep. Oh. Oh no, 9 knots. I was looking at 150 there. Was that what? Okay, so we're up and away. My beautiful balloon. So you can see here we're passing over, I don't remember what. Don't even have the map loaded up at the moment, so I'd have a hard time finding it. Let's look. We're flying over Ghana, Togo, Benin, and into Nigeria. So, for testing. It's for testing purposes. Of course it is. So it's looking nice, leaving that city behind. I was saying before that I really need to get the A320 under control and understand what I'm doing wrong, because the back wheels I can get touched down, no problem. But then when I bring the nose down, which should fall naturally when you go dead stick, I think if you don't go, I don't think you have to push it down. Not from any videos I've seen anyway. But and when I do kind of bring it down, it always bounces. And I landed the other day at perfect landing speed without issue, so I don't know why. You can see my engines aren't cooking this time. I wonder if there was an issue before. I really do. I wonder if there was an issue. Okay, the wings are clear of icing, so that's good. I thought we might get a little bit with that kind of storm behind us, but it's not happening by the looks of it. Let's go for an external view, and you can see the city behind us. That's really, really nice. The airports stand out way too much. So yeah, I did a flight into New York JFK the other day, and everything I did really, really well. All the approach, and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Coming into land on the markers, I felt like we were right in the middle. It felt so good, but then once the back wheels touched down, I was like, right, the front isn't going down. So I kind of tipped the nose just a little bit, didn't move at all. Tipped it a bit more, didn't move at all, tipped a bit more, and then suddenly it started going bam, bam, bam. But it was like this on the runway, and it wouldn't stop. So I don't know what I did wrong, because I know sometimes if you've ever been, I'm sure you do as well, Elliscar, but I couldn't quite find the point. Plus, I've seen Ryanair flights, Ryanair in particular, that almost come down on the three wheels. They pitch ever so slightly, but they kind of come down on three wheels, and the idea is they want the plane on the ground. They don't want to go around, because go around costs more fuel, it costs more time in the air, and it causes delays and stuff like that. So they prefer to plant the airplane. So if you ever, if you ever listen to, if you ever read about Ryanair hard landings, you'll see it isn't actually a thing, that they plant their airplanes pretty quickly on the runway, you know, because you can have a nice flare and it's all textbook stuff, but I think Ryanair would just rather get it down. But this is a simulator, so if the simulator hasn't been told that, yeah, you can put three wheels down and just slam it into the ground, no problem, it's gonna act against it. And that's not that I was trying to slam it down, but I just felt that it didn't seem to, the nose didn't seem to want to go down, and then when you did try and get it to go down, it would go a bit mental, and the bounces it was doing were ridiculous, because I think even if you force the nose into the ground, as long as the back wheels are down and you're not doing...
Please expedite your climb to flight level 310.
Oh, sugar, yeah, sorry. Vertical speed. I didn't realise that it wasn't following the... Okay. So, yeah. So we're going up to 31,000 now. So it's really strange. It was a strange feeling, but I understand. Because even on this, you've got to push the nose down slightly. And I just felt that it didn't feel quite right. I'm so happy that we haven't had another crash. Touch wood. So I have made a final decision, folks. we're not going to go from South Africa to Argentina anymore. We're going to follow a route around Asia and then Australia, then back up the East Asian coast, up to Russia, across to Canada, and then start our American adventures. The reason I'm going to do that is that's probably going to be a few months away yet. Okay, so might happen in December, in January or something like that. What it means is my job will be much more less stressful at that point, because we should know where we are with COVID, and hopefully as a business we might actually understand where we are. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I do when I do it over America, we have an issue here. We have cabin pressure. Okay, so I can't remember if I'm doing this the right way. Is it up or down? I fixed it with this. Oh no, I didn't fix it with that one before, you idiot. Now we don't know. Fix it. Right, okay, sorry, we didn't fix it with that one before, we fixed it with this one. There we go. Okay. So, what that is the pressure inside the cabin is sometimes not quite right. And you use this one, but I thought it was that one because I panicked. If there was people on board, technically we'd be dead. Now, when I saw these guys going up the other day, they didn't play with this too much because I was watching for it. Because I realised a few times it's telling me to change this, and now I know to do it. But it's only when you get above 30,000 feet. It doesn't seem to do it too much before 30,000 feet. So it's either something you get ready for or you don't get ready for. The thing is, she doesn't say it there, and normally they do. They'll say change your I think they say change your altimeter, and I think that helps it, but could be talking shit. No, I will fly over Tibet. I'll fly over Tibet. We'll definitely be, during this trip, we're going to go through the main peaks of the world. So we will be at K2 and Everest and whatnot, Mount Fuji, places like that. So we will be going to all those places. My intention is to see a lot of those places. Flying across Africa, this part of Africa, I'm just trying to get it done for the moment. As we go down towards South Africa, there's probably going to be looking at some fauna, I think, and we shall definitely look at some more things down there. I think we've got a couple of places we can look at while we're down in South Africa. Definitely in the Middle East, there's places like Egypt. I've forgotten the name now. Jordan. I don't know if you can get to see this place where they have the thing cut into the. Oh, my English is gone. Yeah, somewhere in Jordan. The mountains of Pakistan, love to do that. Dubai, of course, place like Dubai. Singapore. There's a lot of places that I really want to kind of get to and visit, because I know in game they're going to look pretty good, and they're going to be somewhere that you can have a good look around. The updates that came from Microsoft today are quite interesting. There's some very interesting things that they said which I didn't know about, so, and I'll touch on that. This weather thing, the Rex or Wex weather package, so this thing that currently they said gives you better weather than the game engine. Well, apparently Microsoft don't know whether they want to share that part of the game engine. So that means this company that have said that they're making like these weather packages, I don't think those weather packages are live. They're all presets. Now, in my opinion, yes, they can do this thing where they can preset a little bit ahead of you so you arrive to it, but that's not what they offered before. What they offered before was 100% live weather system that changes by the minute, and when you're flying into something, you're truly flying into it. But it seems like Microsoft don't want to share that, and that is because although the weather system, the live weather system, doesn't work very well at the moment, they've obviously put a lot of work into it. And what? I'm not missing people. Oh yeah, I am. Hello. Sedless K, is that how you say it? Or would you prefer Skippity Papa? Skippity Papa. I like that name. So sorry, yes, I am missing people. You know, I'm so lonely up here in the clouds. That's the problem. How you doing? Welcome in. I did that the other night. Sometimes it pops into my chat late. I'm sure that name didn't pop up before you typed "you're gonna fly over Tibet." But so yeah. So whether that works or not, I don't know. I don't know. What was the other thing that they were talking about? They want to add a freeware section to the market. That was interesting. The sad part was that they said they didn't want to step on the toes. Why are we rocking like somebody's come a knocking? They said they don't want to. What was it? They said they don't want to. They don't want to step on the toes of content creators who charge money. And obviously they don't, because Skibbity Papa, come back and say hello again, because I just want to make sure I didn't scare you away. Okay, will do, buddy. So, let's have a look. Well, we're far away now. We're on our way. We're on our way. Look at those stars. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, I will say that having seen the dev diaries for Elite Dangerous, I have got a bit of hope. What you were saying earlier, Ansgar, I totally understand, and I agree. I agree. The thing about the ship interiors, I agree, but it shouldn't be the case because they've had a ton of time. Do you remember when the exploration update came out with all the new bells and whistles and the scanner? They've had since before then. So, I don't know. to get another whiskey. Okay, did I scare him off? Did he go away? Oh, I'm sad now. I always scare the best ones away. That's why Brian and Elscar stick around. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Don't go. Don't leave me, please. Right. Okay. So. Oh, I think I saw lightning from below there. That's good. Good. Brian, you, myself, and Elscar should. You, Elscar, and I should play a little bit of Division 1 now you've got it at some point. It would be really cool to just hook up 3 people. I haven't played with more than one other person for a while. Not since my old PlayStation days. And it's pretty good fun when you've got 3, because you can do it a little bit more tactically. I don't know where the lightning's come from because there's not enough clouds. Apparently it's come from those clouds right there. Those ones right there. But it doesn't seem like enough to cause lightning to me. See some mountains in the distance. Distance. So yeah, what was I saying about Odyssey? So yeah, so they said beginning of next year, so I can wait. I'm patient enough. I think I need the break from Elite for that. I might do like a big Elite stream over Christmas time. We're a fair way off that, I do realise, but I have to plan a little bit for the future. I've kind of made some how do we say it? I've kind of tried to make some honest agreements with myself this year. One of them is to try and drink a little bit less, so I'm not giving up or anything. Somebody asked me if I want to do Sober October the other day. I told them to fuck off. Because that type of thing, it's for me, it's the extremes, you know. I think that if I was totally, if I had my drinking under control, because I'm northern, I don't, and I have a history of alcoholism in my family, but I think now I drink much less than if you think about my streams like maybe a year and a half ago, when I would be happily drinking wine, beer and whiskey all on stream at the same time, and ending the stream in the fetal. No, I've never ended up in the fetal position. But so you know, now I've tried to bring it down a little bit, and I try not to stream. I always have a drink, always, but try to keep it a little bit more realistic. And in general, I try to drink a bit less. But then on the flip side as well, I'm just trying to. There's other things I'm trying to do to try and kind of, you know, I think as you get older, you have to be a bit more honest with yourself at sometimes. You know, you can't how do you put it? I don't know how to say it. But you know, we are quite protective of ourselves as people, because you try to look after yourself, and I don't just mean physically, I mean mentally and everything. And I think that sometimes we don't look at ourselves in a logical way. We tend to look at ourselves in an emotional way because we want to protect ourselves. But I think sometimes it's very good to step outside of yourself and look at yourself and say, you know, I'm not what I want to be. It could be that I moan too much, or that I get angry too quickly, or something like that, and really try and work on those things. And so at the moment, I'm trying to, two things I'm really trying to do is cut down on drink, and the other one is to try and not let my job affect this life, so the life I have at home, not allow my job to creep in. That's very difficult as a teacher because you're kind of moulding how people are going to be going forward, so it's a bit more difficult. But the last and final thing was to, like with streaming, was to try and be more dependable, that I'm going to stream when I say I'm going to stream. So I've tried to make sure that I say, okay, for example, I've said it before, is Friday's always going to be a streaming night, for sure. Saturday hopefully will be a streaming day most weeks, but not every week. But most weeks Saturday will be a streaming day as well, although my viewing figures on Saturday tend to suck really bad. Then one in midweek, which will not be connected to one of the major games, so it'll be a side game. That, so we've got LA Noire, Mafia, God knows what I'm going to do when Cyberpunk comes out, because for me Cyberpunk's either going to be huge for me, I mean personally, or it's going to be nothing, because it's first person. I hate first person, so it's going to be very, very difficult for me to invite first person into my life, because I really dislike it. But the subject of Cyberpunk is something I really like. So I read, when I was a kid, I read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, Adjustment Bureau, Minority Report by Philip K. Dick, and then I watched Blade Runner. Actually, I don't know if I watched Blade Runner first as a kid and then got into Philip K. Dick, or it was the other way around. I think it was the other way around, because I remember watching Blade Runner with a lot of awe, but thinking this isn't exactly what I liked, or what I thought it would be. So, and I still watch a lot of that stuff now, cyberpunky type stuff. So, I think I'm going to really like it. If it's as deep as they're trying to make out, I think I'm going to like it. Has my chat stopped, or is everybody just in a mood with me because of I'm not replying? I don't know if my chat stopped. Hang on. I'm just trying to check it now. So. And I have a second channel that I really want to kind of get going, but oh no, that was just Alan's car shouting at me. And I want to get a second channel going, but I don't know when that's going to come about. But hopefully it'll come about soon. Don't want to wait too long. Okay, so let's have a look. We are, touch wood, we're up and away in my beautiful balloon now, and we don't have to worry too much about a crash. I don't think we're going to have to worry about a crash. We've actually got a heck of a long way to go. So I think... Hey, Jess, how's it going? I'll say 9-7 to you. But just before I get a drink, I'll be 2 minutes, okay? I'm not leaving because of you, Jeff. Did anybody spot the cat hidden underneath the bedclothes? It's getting a bit chilly here now, so she's decided that to be underneath the bedclothes is the best spot, and it actually is. When the weather gets a bit like this, I tend to wanna. It's true that. Jess, do you know how many pilots get stopped being drunk every year? It's a ridiculously high amount. Ridiculously high amount. So, so no, I wasn't leaving because of you. I just thought it was a good time, and it gets them too back in chat, because I think eventually they just stop listening to me and just sit there going like, oh no. Okay, let's get the VFR map off. Okay, here we go. No, the autopilot is much more intelligent now, so I'm guessing now drinking probably isn't so much of a problem. Hey Malcolm, how's it going? Welcome in, good to see you. It's very good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, I was having a bit of a bad day earlier on. The game crashed twice on me. Don't know why. I didn't do it no harm. I didn't do it no harm. Alright, we're getting there now, people. Shut up. We're actually not. We're, let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're about a quarter of the way. We're at flight level, but we lost 48 minutes through crashes. But for some reason it's not crashing now, and I really hope that isn't a constant. I really hope that isn't a constant. We got around it by turning off AI traffic, which I think the AI traffic might have been why it was crashing. I think it might have been trying to load in AI traffic or something. We've left the bad weather behind us. There were storms over there, but it now looks like there may be blue skies ahead. Yeah, we've got like scattered cloud, if any. We're currently flying now. We're probably flying over the one beginning with G, Ghana. So we're probably flying over Ghana now. I'm guessing we've passed the. We can actually see. What am I saying? We can see. Let's see. Line map. We are there. Okay. Yeah, this is Ghana, I think. This part. Just let me check on my maps. Ghana's not as big as I expected, and the reason I say that is because I meet a lot of people from Ghana. Let's see where the thing is there. So, where are we now? We are there. Ivory Coast is there. We took off from Diab, sorry. Let me fly over there. Yep, I can see that there. Okay, and then we pass into Ghana. Yeah, we're way into Ghana actually. I didn't realise how far we are into Ghana. We may actually be passing Togo. We can't be in Togo yet. No, there's no way we're in Togo yet. Right, the arse end of Ghana. I say the arse end. The arse end of Ghana is here. And we are here, so we've entered Ghana, but we're not exiting yet. Ghana's quite fat, but it's thinner than I thought. And it's probably more or less the same size of Ivory Coast, but I would have expected it to be bigger. I always thought Ghana was maybe the size of Nigeria or something, because you think of Nigeria, Cameroon, these types of places. People probably talking in chat and I'm not paying attention. Was anybody talking in chat? Oh dear. Oh, she must be at home. I used to have a little old lady who lived above me, and her son sent me a picture of him waving with her, saying, "Do you remember me?" Because I felt bad because of Corona. I haven't seen her for months, and she was getting on. So I just made a video earlier, just saying, "How are you? I hope you're okay." And just got a message back from him, but I always need to run it through the translator just so I know I'm not making. Yeah, so I'm guessing she's in a home now. She was living with her son, but I'm guessing they've put her in a home. It's probably the best place for her, to be honest. I think when some people get to a point, home wakes them up a little bit. It's not for everybody, but for some people. And this little old lady who lived above me, she was lovely. But I found her one day on the floor. Well, we heard a thump, we were watching something. I don't know if I was streaming at the time or I just finished streaming. And I'm walking to the living room and just hear this thud on the floor upstairs. And you think, oh, you know, stamping, you know, could be anything. And then I heard a couple of more bangs, and I was like, no, that doesn't sound normal. So I went up, knocked on her door, there was no answer, and then after a few minutes I heard her crawling on the floor, so I could hear like her moving things around, and then she answered, and she was in a bit of a mess. She'd cut herself and stuff, she'd fallen through a table, and but we got her to the hospital and whatnot, and then the next day she was actually released the next day, and her son picked her up and took her to his house. So I'm gonna actually have to find out where. Shut up. Shut up, Oscar. You're all horrible, you lot. So yeah, I'm gonna find out where she actually is, because if she's here or she's close by, I can probably go visit her. With COVID, it's difficult, isn't it? I don't know if my Catalan's good enough to be understood through a mask with an old lady. She was the only old lady here, though, that spoke Catalan to me. All the others speak Spanish. Because if they think you're foreign, they just go to Spanish. It's a default mode. So, what was Jess saying when he first dropped in was hydrochloroquine? But hydrochloroquine works. So this is what they're not really reporting in America. There's loads of countries using it and it works. So yes. So yes, I understand it's funny to make fun of him. I think it's more fun to make fun of him because of the fact that he was so blasé about the mask. And Boris Johnson was the same. And you know, the thing with Boris Johnson is that really pisses me off is that now he's fit and back to normal, he's back to being a dick. That really pisses me off, because I thought him catching COVID would have, because he was been really blasé about it, I thought it would have woken him up and shaken him up a little bit. But I noticed as well that that with Trump they're saying it's only mild symptoms. Well, I'm sorry, but it's always mild symptoms at the beginning. It's 5 days in. With Boris Johnson, they were hiding him in the fucking hospital, saying that he was sitting up in bed and talking, when in actual reality they were apparently they were pumping his lungs like every few hours to try and get all the gunk out. And of course, because he's Prime Minister, he got the best service, but there's a lot of people who unfortunately didn't. Luckily for Trump, doctors pretty much know now how to deal with it. Let's put our engines up. We're only at 85. 96. So luckily for Trump, he's at the point where doctors are starting to really get a hold of how to deal with it. But there's still deaths, so don't pretend that there isn't at the moment. There's still a fair few deaths happening. And young people as well. Just heard a story yesterday of a 34-year-old runner who's in a pretty bad way. Injection inside, putting a leg down, I'm going to be honest, hydrochloroquine is the best idea I've ever had, because I'm the greatest. I did love that cloak. We could put some bleach down there, and that'll be good. That'll be great. We'll be through it very quickly. That's all there is to say about that. What do you say to the fact that there's 3,000 people dying a day in New York? Fake news. Don't say that, Alex. Let me tell you something, Alex, actually, that I was thinking today, right? And it was something that I think it was Eddie Izzard was talking about last week. Eddie Izzard is a comedian that I love. His comedy is so good. Very bizarre, but very, very funny. But he was talking about how he was saying at this point in time, they're dividing us, and they're doing it very well. So the left and the right are, whether you agree with each side, whatever, they're dividing. And when you divide, you conquer. It's as simple as that. History tells you that. And we're all going against history, not just with the politics, with this virus we're going against history. We've got anti-maskers whenever the bubonic plague was, it was like blame it on the Jews. We've got to stop doing this to ourselves as a race of people. We're never going to fucking learn, you know. The thing is what you don't want is you don't want to reward shitty behaviour by people who are supposed to be running the country. We don't. And what a lot of us are doing, as I'm seeing it left, right and centre, is I'm seeing one group of people saying, that's my political view, and so that person can do no wrong, and the other person's always going to be a freak, or I don't like that person. We can't think like that going forward. We've got to bridge the gap. We really do. And even if you believe that the other side is completely wrong, you've got to understand, how do I bridge the gap to that? Because it's too easy to say, I'll wash my hands of them. I'll wash my hands of them. Because that's where hatred comes in, and that's where far-right ideas come in. In Europe, we've got too many far-right groups who are starting to take power. And they're taking power because of public perception that isn't necessarily true. I don't mean that it isn't always, I don't mean that it doesn't have any truth, but I'm saying it isn't necessarily true all the time. And oh, Eddie Izzard's Star Wars canteen is fucking hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, I haven't got it. I've got an ineffectual glass tonight. I'm actually going to try and get an engraved glass at some point. Eddie Izzard's Star Wars canteen and flirting at the water dispenser are his two best parts. By far his best parts. The flirting at the water cooler is just, it's amazing, and it's because I've worked in an office, so I kind of got where he was coming from, even though I don't think he's ever worked in an office. And you know what I love about Eddie Izzard? Is all the transsexual, transvestite, trans things, whatever, that people try to make fun of people who are trans, is that Eddie Izzard is better than most of us in that he can run a fucking marathon a day for 28 days. The guy was doing it with his fucking feet falling apart. And sometimes people look at transvestites or trans people and say that, oh, they can't do the things that other people can do. I'm not talking about the movement, the trans movement, because I don't agree with some of that. I'm talking about just the person. Because I'm starting to become more about, we need to start bringing people together. And these groups that have a message are not speaking for everybody, because everybody's different. Malcolm's different from Jess, Jess is different from Elazgar, Elazgar's different from Brian. Not very much, but no, I'm only kidding. But everybody's different from everybody, and we need to start bridging these gaps. We really need to start bridging these gaps. because I'm seeing it left, right and centre. We're being separated. We're being separated, and I don't agree with it, because I might not agree with, let's say, I might not agree with Alazgar politically, but I like the guy. What you don't want is commies in chat. Yeah, well, no, I've told you, socialism is fine. We have socialism here in Spain. We're not fucking communists, believe me. Believe me. The rich in Spain have it much easier than the poor people, but we are under a socialist government. And that socialist government looked after us during the pandemic. They didn't look after us as well as they could have. No, don't tell me out, Brian. I know, I love it. Do you know, because, and I don't love it because he's got COVID, because I had a friend on Facebook earlier saying, I hope he dies on his back on a ventilator, and I was like, no, you don't. You don't wish death on anybody. Maybe Hitler. And then I hear people going, Trump's a new Hitler. He's not Hitler. Hitler was Hitler. Hitler was not a maniac. He was a guy with mental problems caused by the breakup of his parents, and he decided to take it out on a whole race because he was a bit of an idiot. But he spoke well. And these are the things that we don't understand. If you want to understand how fucking wacky the human race is in general, go read up on Scientology. Let's go read up on it. I'm not talking about the ecumenical aspect of Scientology. Read up on how it was created and why people are leaving, and you'll understand that you can have the wackiest people in charge, the most crazy-assed, wide-eyed mental people in charge of a country, and the country follows them. We need to get rid of that shit. Biden needs to go. Seriously, Biden needs to go. It's way too old. What's that? The name of the crazy-eyed bitch who the other day, she went, "Good morning," and then about 3 minutes into the interview with the CNN anchor, she just turned around and went, "Good morning, Sunday morning." She's gone. She needs to be in a home or a rest area. But she can't because she's embedded in a position of providing for her friends. And they don't want her out of power. What's her name? Pelosi, that's the one. Go watch Pelosi's interview with CNN. It's fucking mental. A woman like that should not be in any position of power. But neither should Biden and neither should Trump. Because they're too old. They're geriatrics, for fuck's sake. Okay. Oh, Malcolm, you're different in a good way. I don't mean it in a bad way. Yeah, well, you'd think, Jess, and this is where I said the problem was, because the British Prime Minister, I really thought the compassion would kick in after he kicked it, but it emboldened him. I've beaten it, so anybody who hasn't beaten it is weak. I know that's how he feels, and that's what I'm saying, is you would think the compassion would arrive at that point. But Joe Rogan said it a while ago. He said, in order to lead a country, you have to have a particular mentality. You have to want that power, because no one would take that on by choice. It has to be about wanting the power. It's got nothing to do with serving anyway. And Pelosi is in no position to be in any position of power. She's off her head. She's probably on meds, because her eyes look like she's on meds most of the time. She's politically leaning towards where I want the world politics to be, but I don't mean I'm right over to that side with her, but she is on the side that I would want it to be. But she's off her head. But I can admit that I'm not good. But there are people I know who follow her blindly. They're like, she's some guiding light. And that's why, well, America has a problem with the two-party system, That's the main problem. The UK has its own problem because we have a three-party system. Technically four if you bring in the Scottish National Party. The Welsh Assembly doesn't seem to be as strong, but in England we have a three-party system. But the problem is that when the middle group of the three-party system had the option to change everything, they didn't. They went with the status quo because and I don't know how that Nick Clegg ever even sat in Parliament in the fucking co-pilot seat. What a doyle. Anyway, it's all politics and politics. They always say never talk politics with friends, but it's because I'm a pure centrist. I believe in being in the centre. I think our system has space for being. I believe our system has a lot of space for being capitalist, but I also think we need to find another way, because if we go down the capitalist route, it's too psychotic. Because capitalism requires profit, and it requires us to consume, and it's going to go on to a point where people are replaced by robots. People don't have the money to consume, and therefore it just won't work, in my opinion. Yeah. So she hasn't got any spunk, Jess. She takes pills. She takes pick-me-ups. I know she takes pick-me-ups. I can see it in her eyes. There's no doubt about it. That woman, when she wakes up in the morning, is helped out of bed. She gets an intravenous of whatever she needs, so whatever that might be. Trump as well. Trump will be on Ambien or something. Not Ambien. What's the other one? The one for ADD. He's on that because you can tell by the way he speaks. He's got no patience, and he won't let somebody finish. So not to me. No, but he is. It's not spunk, it's booze. Bonjour will always be a twat. Which Monty Python joke, Malcolm? And Pelosi does look like a witch, but not because the thing is that she doesn't look like a witch. Her eyes make her look like a witch because she has the stare. And what I would say is that I say to a lot of people that I see it far quicker than other people do. Is some people, a lot of the time women, but it does happen with men. I'll give you an example: David Miscavige, Tom Cruise, Marshall Silver, if you've ever heard of Marshall Silver, and Tony Robbins, if you've ever heard of Tony Robbins. These people have this open-eyed stare where their eyes go wide and they stare at you, and it's a traditional stare down. And these people have learned through, I don't want to say the word that I want to say, they know that they just have to look through you. They're not looking at you. They say they're looking at you. They say, oh, I'm looking deep inside. They're not. They're looking through you. Because they know they can hold that stare through you, and you will capitulate. And you will buy their product or whatever it is. And some people have that stare, and I've never trusted people with that stare. Because somebody to look in your eyes and talk to you is fine. Somebody who stares into your eyes and is trying to, for me it always feels like they're trying to like kind of press you down. It's one of the reasons why when I used to go to church as a kid, and I was quite orientated towards religion, but as I grew older I never liked the fact that all the statues were staring at me and were all looking down in judgment. They always had those sad eyes. It was really strange. So you're right. You're right, Jess. You're too right. Slap it in autopilot. Well, you take another victory swing. This is what happens in autopilot. The best thing is I have to land this thing yet. We're not even there. Are we there yet? No, we're not. No, I just listen, people. I'm really, as a streamer, I meet different people, and I definitely look at every one of you, Steve Buscemi. I look at every person, and even when I don't agree with them in a certain way, I never truly judge anybody. I think you can only judge people when they do something heinous, or they do something against you. And so I've always had friends of very, 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 very different backgrounds. Yeah, Marty Feldman. Okay, yeah, the Marty Feldman eyes. No, Steve Buscemi's actually a really, really nice person. I've watched a few interviews with him, and you can tell he's a genuine person. Marty Feldman was really nice. Met Marty Feldman years and years ago. And he was really nice and really funny as well. Just like I was saying earlier in the street, I lost a friend today. If it's no Scottish, it's crap. I lost a friend earlier today, found out in a motorcycle accident. Fucking hilariously funny guy. It really is a loss. My last memory of him was Christmas Eve. It was a few years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. And he was getting on the last bus, because on Christmas Eve, where my parents live, where my grandma lives, the last bus is really late. Like, they put on a special bus to get everybody home from the bars. And my last memory of the guy was trying to pay the bus driver with a chicken parmesan. Now, I say chicken parmesan because it's the closest I can get to, but where I come from we have something called a chicken parmo. If you like Sam the cooking guy, go check out his chicken parmo recipe from yesterday. It's a recipe from where I live, specifically from where I live. I don't know why the fuck he decided to cook it, but he did. The last memory is my friend trying to pay the bus driver with a chicken parmesan. But he was just so funny. Like, such a good guy. And comedy heals people. It really does. Comedy is make sure you're always laughing, even if it's dark. You can laugh at dark stuff. That's fine. I had to talk with Crazy Eyes once. Hey Blue Noser, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you popping by and saying hello. Did you ever get a yoke sorted out? Listen, I wish you would pop by a little bit more often. It would be nice to see you. I haven't popped in your streams recently because I've normally been in bed when you're streaming, to be honest. On a bit of a health kick. But if you were live, I would normally pop in. Let's not land in these turbulent conditions. We're talking about your we're discussing your freaky neighbours down south. You know, the neighbours that you don't like to talk about. Oh, shut up, Ella's guy. Why do you say commie? What's the commie got to do with it? Canadian's fine. Blue Nose is Canadian. Boot to kick your ass. Don't pay attention to Ella's guy. He's dead nice when you meet him. He just has a bit of a front. And it's not really, I know it's not really him, because I know he's a nice guy. I know he is. This whole commie stuff, it's all he knows from being taught from school. Doesn't wash for me. I've got a message from one of my lady friends. No, you don't want to do that. He's a nice guy. He's a great guy. I was going to say, because I met Ella's car in New York through the stream. We met up in New York, and sorry if I get mushy, Ella's car, but I can't help saying what I see. He was dead welcoming. Me and my housemate had a really good time with him. We walked around New York. He'll tell you we whipped him around New York, but we didn't. We walked around New York. We went for... Did we go for lunch, Alex? I can't remember if we had lunch that day. We had ice cream. You remember the ice cream on the upper west side? It would have been, actually. Then we went to have a meal in Harlem, which was really good. Alex guy was our guide. I'm not kidding. He was protecting us in Harlem, which was really, really nice. That's when we kind of got to sit and chat and everything and whatnot. And then the next morning we went and had breakfast, which was a bit too short, the visit with Ella's car, to be honest, because he was really nice. Yeah, so don't listen to what he writes on here, because I know it's not the true him. He's got a softer side. He just doesn't want to recognise it. 70. Brian, are you having a go at me? How dare you? No, not drunk. Please, people. When it comes to love, go easy on me, because I'm not. I'm going to be honest, right? And I'll tell this with truth and a bit of whiskey. Is that I went through a couple of bad breakups in my previous relationship, so my previous 3, fucking hell, and it wasn't me, and that's the thing. When it's me, I'm like, oh, I fucked that up, but in those relationships, it wasn't. I just went for the wrong personality type, I guess it would be. They were all kind of the same type of person, and I got broken hearted in each one, but 2 of them overlapped, which really messed with how I trusted people, or how I trusted women. And the last year is it's been a long time. It's been like 10 years or something since I left my ex, but it's only the last 10 months where I've totally, my brain has got clear about, okay, you're over that now, and now we can move on. And you with me? Oh, we did go. We went for lunch. We had Chinese, didn't we? We sat next to that Jewish woman who'd lived near Chinatown for years. Do you remember the Jewish woman who'd lived in Chinatown forever? And didn't her husband turn up halfway through because we all had to share that table? Ellen's car didn't like the fact that we shared the table. I was on holiday, so I didn't give a damn. But I can understand why he didn't like it. I can understand why he didn't like it, but at the time I was like, I'm on holiday, I'm going to meet new people. But, yeah, you remember the little Jewish woman in the Chinese place? So what was his name? Yeah. So yeah, the last 10-12 months, I just I just kind of got into a place where I felt more comfortable with myself. Because I think that when you break up, that's where you've got to find yourself first. You can't jump to the next thing. It's not healthy. And it only took me, and now the last 2 months I felt more like me. I really feel like, I'm talking about like romantically, not normal. Like, I've always known who I am, but now I start to feel like me, and I've noticed because there's more people attracted, and now, even now, I just had this girl from Azerbaijan messaging me who's just started working for her, and she's like talking about, I had a great time having coffee, I wanted to have coffee again. I don't know in Azerbaijan what that means, but he's saying this all live on here. But I just hope that things are in a better way for me now. Sorry, I'm just trying to send a message to my boss because I see a few hot spots. My boss is just messaging me. I have to. This is my life at the moment. I'm fucking connected to this thing. Okay, so we've got to descend and maintain level 250.
Descend and maintain flight level 250.
So what we're going to do is, I'll just 2625. We'll take it right to the precipice. We'll push that down. Wait, we have to go vertical speed. We're going to push it down, and we're going to go in and climb. I'm going to go about 1,700. Azerbaijan girl is fucking hot. I've never seen anybody who looks like that before in my life. I hadn't seen her before because she had the mask on, and then we went for coffee a few days ago and I was like, fuck me, that's different. But this is what I think happens when you stop and you maybe look at yourself a bit more critically, but not in a way that you're beating yourself. You just look at yourself and say, what do I want me to be? And you try and aim towards that. I think other people kind of feed off that a little bit, or they understand it, or I don't know exactly how to explain it. Strange. They tried to pour the t-shirt on us. Did they? I can't remember. Really, they really tried that? I'm not going to say anything because that could be considered as a religious slur. But she was funny, but I didn't realise that that's what she did. If that's true, and not in any way false, that's pretty funny. How do I put this? Sorry, one sec. I need to tell my boss. I'm trying to tell my boss that I'm actually a little bit busy, and that's where she's going. Why aren't you talking? Because she pays me to talk, apparently. It's getting too much. I work some real ding-dongs. I don't know a nicer way to say it. So, we're going on our descent. We're going 25,000. We're 300 feet off. So I'm guessing we're going to get clearance to go down again, probably to about 18,000. Actually, yeah, this guy's fucking spot on, Brian. I ain't got a penny. There's no way. But no, I mean, she's not what you think. When you think the word Azerbaijan, you think, oh, with a hood. I don't know what you think. It's fucking hot. Like, there's no doubt about it. Way above my level. I'm going to be honest with her. Even if she wanted something, I couldn't keep her. It's not happening. I'm a realist. It's not fucking happening. That's what I was thinking. I was wondering if Ella's car's going to... I thought we might have had clearance to drop a little bit now. The Azerbaijani, well, the story is she came to Spain. She was a lawyer in the Netherlands, but she fell for somebody from here. And I'm going to be honest and say the story you see recurring here is that the guys fall in love with a woman abroad, and I've experienced this in the opposite way. They fall in love with somebody abroad, but when they come back, they're not the person they were when they were abroad. They go into like this weird insular way of being here. Now I love it here, and I like the people from here, but they are very insular. And a lot of people from abroad, when they get brought here and suddenly their partner or their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever goes insular, they cannot handle it because they've seen normally their partner in a very open environment with lots of people from different countries. Normally there's a language which is central, which is normally something like English or French or something like that, and then suddenly their partner gets really insular and just starts speaking Catalan all the time with their family and stuff. And I'm going to be honest and say that sexism is still quite strong here. So women, that was me, I was leaning on my thing. Women are expected to lead a certain way, to be a certain way, and the men are expected to be chulo, as they say. And when you bring women from Germany or the Netherlands here and you act like that, they think you're a dick, and they'll very quickly dispose of you. I remember I met a girl from Australia when I first arrived here, and she was really pretty. She was the first woman I've ever actually found attractive with short hair, because normally it's short-haired women I don't find attractive. And I think he said 18,000 feet there. 15,000 feet. And the reason I'm saying this is because this girl was really, really pretty, and I'm not normally somebody who's kind of intrigued by short hair, but she was really, and she had a really sweet, compassionate way about her. But I remember the first time I met her, she was just like, I hate this place and I can't wait to get out of this place. But I can understand it. But I've got a strong personality, so you know, if I meet somebody from here that I like, they've got to be somewhere half between before it's not happening. You know, like a second date doesn't happen unless it's for me it's not happening unless they're a bit open, because for me you cannot be like that, you know. I've said before, I'd date somebody from here who didn't speak English, I would go through the process of not of difficult conversation, because my Catalan is like very basic. Well, it's not basic, it's better than basic, but I would go through the process of connecting with someone and doing it in Catalan. So if I'm going to do that, they have to fucking learn some English. Like, we're not going to sit in this. Used to date a girl who she didn't learn English, and it drove me up the wall, because I was like, I'm fucking meeting you, and she was always like, but we speak it here and you're speaking it, so there's not necessary. So it didn't last. Didn't last. And that's sad, because I think that you can't go through life being like that. Pixie? Well, you know what, Jess? This is what I think, right? This is what I think happens in office. It's all a game, right? So these people go to Yale or Harvard or whatever, and it's all a game to them. They do these things where they they practice the presidential debates and all the stuff like that. Yeah, let's get away from my love life and whatnot. Shut up, Brian. I'm a bit slow because I'm not reading at the moment. But so, you know, they go to Harvard or Yale and they practice presidential campaigns and all this lot. They get a run, and they have a run. If they get into power, they get into power. Then once they're in power, the shit hits the fan. They're getting briefed 4 or 5 times a day about this is happening, that's happening, this is a threat, that's a threat, you've got to deal with this, you've got to deal with that. And I think the majority of them can't fucking handle it. You see, George Bush, when he was on his campaign, I hate George Bush, by the way, but I'm going to say this truthfully. When George Bush was on his campaign trail, he was intelligent. Right? He was intelligent.
Going to 121.7 Dayer Golf Sierra Alpha.
George Bush was super intelligent on the campaign trail. By the third year in government, he was a gibbering wreck. He couldn't string sentences together. And that's coming from someone I don't... Yeah, okay. 3-6. Ah, right, okay. Right, so we have to go down to 230. What did he say? 3,500, okay. So we have to go between below 230
and maintain 3,500 feet. Keep speed below 230 knots. Expect RNAV runway 18 right.
Okay, so we're below speed. I am going to increase the vertical speed because I think it's a bit too little. We can actually go higher now. When you're descending, it's a little bit easier. It's what some people say, Elliscar. I actually think they might get shown the fucking Kennedy film from the true point of view and say, if you fuck up, this is what happens to you. But I don't know. But I honestly think... I honestly think that being the President of the United States, you're talking about a whole fucking nation. You're not even talking about a nation. America's a continent, right? It isn't a nation, it's a continent. It's huge. New York, Arizona, you couldn't even begin to tell the difference. You go from the Scottish Islands to Cornwall, it's different, but it ain't that different. It is not that different. It's not the same, but it's not different. It's not entirely different. Brian's head's just blown up, but you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying it's not that different. But the US, Jesus Christ, I noticed differences between Idaho and Utah. Huge differences, and Idaho and Arizona felt different. And you're talking 3 states. 3 states. difference. It's craziness. No, but what I mean is, Brian, I know the Highlands are very different. The Highlands are fucking beautiful. Beautiful. Do you know, I've always said the two most beautiful places I've seen in the UK are the Scottish Highlands and the Welsh Mountains. Nothing in England. I'll be honest and say that where I come from in England, but it's very difficult because I've lived there and I saw them every day, so for me they didn't seem spectacular. But the coastal cliffs of the northeast, around Whitby, where Golf Dracula was set, is a beautiful area. The Scottish Highlands and the Welsh Mountains, fuck, I've not seen anything like it. I'm going to be honest, the Lake District didn't surprise me as much as the Lake District didn't surprise me as much as the Welsh Mountains did. So I've been through the Lake District as well, but I didn't feel that it was as surprising as the I turned the landing lights off, sorry, before, so I don't know if that was automatic. I don't know what the deal was there. Okay, so we're through the clouds almost. See what I mean about, I really think that the graphics have been hit a bit. These cities don't look like they used to. It could be that the African mesh is not as strong, but I don't know. So we're coming in now, and okay, I think I can see, oh no, it's road lights, it's road lights, it's road lights. Okay, let's have a look at the map. Oh, no, 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 please, 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 no. Oh, you... Right, so, I'm going to be honest. I think the reason the crash is something to do with how it's connecting to the flight path. That's my thought, because the path that it should be doing, because it seems to be when I'm making a transition decision or something like that, that it is crashing. I'm going to have to check the boards because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I have to say about this. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed that it's done this twice. We've reached our destination because I'm not flying that whole flight again. Look, people, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to have something to drink, and then I'm going to probably pour myself another whiskey because I feel like I want one. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do Mafia. Okay, it'll be an Insta stream, so keep an eye out. It's going to be about, what, 10 minutes from now or something? I'm guessing 10 minutes from now. We're only at 10:30. I still want to play games tonight. I still want to have fun, but I can't reload this. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I need 2 more potatoes. Jess, I have promised that I would post my build one day. I'm going to be honest, some of you are going to weep. You're going to weep like you're a child. You really are. Because you're not going to realise what I work with, but I'm not a rich man. So, what do you do? But I can't keep going. I can't keep going on with that. So, okay, people, give me 10-15 minutes, and I will be back with Mafia Definitive Edition. And let's have some fun. Let's shoot some fools. Okay. So until then, I'll say 9-7. 10-15 minutes. Okay. Bye.